What's up? It's Young Retro, aka Retro Pete, aka Joshua Porter. And y'all know what time it is. It's Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what do y'all think this is? Y'all know what it is? It's the Biblically Studies, where we study the Bible. And this week, what we're bringing to y'all is Proverbs 12, 1 through 12. So we're gonna go ahead and pray, and we're gonna get right into it and keep on discussing Proverbs. It's been great. So let's go ahead and open up in prayer. God, thank you for allowing all of us to get together again and for us to just continue this Proverbs journey that we're on, and for us to just continue to learn and be able to honor you, and for us to just come to you with, open minds and open hearts and be able to hear what you're saying to us and really use it in our daily lives. In Jesus' name, amen. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into it and just keep on discussing and use all of this wisdom and knowledge in our daily lives, how we can do better in school, in our community, in our churches, and in our homes. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're gonna read verses 1 through 3. Here we go. Those who love discipline love knowledge, and those who hate correction are stupid. The Lord favors good people, but he condemns schemers. No one is established by wicked acts, but the roots of the righteous can't be disturbed. Now let's go ahead and break that down. Those who love discipline love knowledge, and those who hate correction are stupid. I mean, it's not really, you can't get more straightforward than that. God's not calling y'all stupid, like it says, but it's not really like that. It's more like those who hate correction, they're not open-minded like we just prayed about. You gotta be open-minded, you gotta be able to hear this correction and then actually apply it to your life. What it's really saying is stubborn, like not stupid, think more of stubborn. Stubborn is like, if I'm doing something the wrong way, and then somebody comes over and is like, hey Josh, you're doing this wrong. I feel like you can work on this. And I'm like, nah, I'm perfect. I don't need to work on anything. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna do it this way. That's being stubborn. I'm not open to correction. And when they say hate correction, it's not like I'm out here just like really hating correction. Like, man, I hate when people try to show me a better way to do things, because that's not how it works. It's just, they think of less of you because they're trying to help you, or like they tell you another way to do it. Like if I'm, studying for a test and I'm studying a more complicated way, and then somebody tells me an easier way to do it, I'm gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I wanna do it my way. A lot of times that's how people get stuck. They wanna do things their way. They don't really wanna hear what other people have to say to them. But you also gotta use wisdom again, because not everything somebody tells you is correct. So let's say somebody tells me like, oh, I feel like you should do this way, this is the correct way to do it and all that. You gotta use that wisdom and discernment in your heart and see, is that really a better way for me? Is that really like gonna please God and everything like that? Because some people, it might sound perfect, it might sound like it's working, it might be even working for them, but it doesn't mean it's for you. So just because you're not taking that correction doesn't mean you're stupid or you're stubborn. You gotta know when to take correction and when not to. So what it's really talking about is when somebody is telling you something and you know what they're telling you really would benefit you deep down, but you're just not open to hear it. You're being stubborn. You're being, ignorant, really. That's another word. So let's go ahead to verse 2. The Lord favors good people, but he condemns schemers. No one is established by wicked acts, but the roots of the righteous can't be disturbed. So basically the same thing, if you're being a good person, the Lord's gonna favor you. He's gonna be out there trying to help you. He's gonna listen to your prayers, just like Pastor Donna was saying recently. If you're not doing the right thing, like you can pray all you want, you can ask God for help, but God is always willing to help you, but he's gonna be like, okay, you're not really doing things for you're not showing me love, so why would I help you out with this situation? It's like the person that feels like they can just go do something bad and then repent right afterwards and everything's good. It doesn't work like that. You gotta have a pure heart. God knows your heart. So even if you can't fool God, even if you're acting like a good person, but deep down, you're doing the wrong things and all that stuff. When you're alone, God sees that and he's not gonna honor that. So he's not gonna answer your prayers when you pray for him. You gotta have a pure heart. You gotta be doing the right thing. If you're a good person, God favors you. So that's verses 1 through 3. Let's go ahead and go to verse 4 and let's go ahead and read about that. A strong woman is a crown to her husband, but a disgraceful woman is like rot in his bones. Verse 5. The plans of the righteous are just, but the guidance of the wicked is deceptive. So that's verse 4 and 5. A strong woman is a crown to her husband, but a disgraceful woman is like rot in his bones. So right there, for all the ladies out there, if you treat your husband well, like you're honoring your husband, like the Bible tells you and all that stuff, you're like a crown, you're like lifting him up. You don't want to be a weight to your husband. And that goes both ways too. Like if you're, a husband and you don't want to be a weight to your wife, you gotta love her, you gotta respect her, because the whole point of being married and working together is to build each other up. You don't want to be dragging them down, miserable when they see you. Like as soon as you come around, they're already in a bad mood. They feel like you're gonna, mess them up and stuff like that. That's what it means by a disgraceful woman is like rot in his bones. So if you're nagging all the time, you're just always on them when they're doing something, like, oh, why you do it that way? That's so stupid, all that stuff. Like, men, take that very hard. Like they're trying their best to, provide for you and all that. So your words can really stick with them and, really hurt them. So like if you're doing that all the time, it's like rot to his bones. You're actually like, you're killing him, not physically, but like his spirit. Like, he's not gonna try as hard. He's not gonna even really want to be around you. He's not gonna feel motivated to be better and be better for you. But if, you're lifting him up, when he messes up, you can't get on him. You gotta be like, oh, you messed up, it's okay, this verse, that, and that husband has to be open to the correction and not be stubborn / stupid and like be like, oh no, I'm not gonna listen to what you're telling me, I'm gonna keep doing it my way. You gotta be open for it, and then y'all build each other up. It's like a crown, and instead of like being a weight, you don't want to be rotting his bones. And that goes both ways. So verse 6, the words of the wicked are a death trap, but the speech of those who do righteous rescues them. The wicked are destroyed and are no more, but the family of the righteous will endure. So that straight up again, the word of the wicked are a death trap. So, if you're being wicked, if you're not doing the right thing, you like life and death is in the power of your tongue. So what you're saying is going, like, it's very strong. A lot of people don't know how strong words are. You they say sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's not true. Words can hurt. So if I'm out here, always saying like, man, I'm dumb, I'm not smart, or this person, all that stuff, that is gonna really affect me. It's really gonna be hard. Even if I'm doing that to somebody else, if like somebody messes up, I'm like, oh, that's stupid, I can't believe you did that. That word hurts them. It's gonna start making them think, oh yeah, I really am. I'm not, smart. I'm not doing things the right way. So the words of the wicked are a death trap. Every time you say something, you're really killing that person's spirit. You gotta know that the spirit listens to both the good and the bad. You gotta be able to motivate somebody, and you got to be able to know when it's for you and when it's not for you. So you got to really keep your mind open, your heart open, and your ears open. So when somebody's saying something negative, okay, I don't have to listen to that. I know who I am. I know what I'm going to do. And then when they're telling you something that sounds good, you got to know, is it really for me? Is it really good? And you got to keep using that and keep going. And then for the wicked out there, just ignore it, because I know it can sting. Words can sting. I don't know why that's a saying that sticks and stones will break your bones, but words will never hurt me, because it's just not true. Words can hurt. And the wicked are destroyed and no more, but the family of the righteous will endure. So that just goes to show you, if you're being righteous, you'll endure it. What does enduring mean? And just multiple benefits, a lot of things. You might get the promotion at work, you might be doing better in school, you might get scholarships to go to college and stuff like that. So when you're being righteous and you're showing God your heart, and you're doing everything with good intentions and for God and not really for yourself, God's gonna honor that, and he's gonna endure you. He's gonna really, it says family, so it doesn't even mean you. If you're doing good, God's gonna bless your whole family. Generations and generations, you gotta teach them to honor God, keep doing the right thing, and God's gonna bless them. And it also says the wicked are destroyed and are no more. So right there, when it says the words, let's go back to verse 6 real quick. The words of the wicked are a death trap. It doesn't mean when they're just talking about other people too. I know I talked about it a little bit, but like the words of the wicked could be self-deprecating too. So like if, like I'm saying, like I'm over here like, oh, I'm not smart. I can't do math and all that stuff. You really think you'll be able to do math if you keep telling yourself you can't do math? No, you gotta be like, oh, I can do this. God, I can do everything through Christ who strengthens me. You gotta say stuff like that, and then you'll be able to do it. Because if you keep talking negative about yourself or other people, verse 7 tells you the wicked are destroyed and are no more. That means you're gonna destroy yourself. You're gonna destroy those people around you if you keep talking that way with your words. Like, if I keep telling myself I can't do math, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do math unless I change my mindset. There's no way. Like I'm not even gonna try anymore, because I'm already gonna think I can't do it. So I'm destroying myself right there. So that's verse 6 and 7. Let's go on to verse 8 and 9. A person is praised for his insight, but a warped mind leads to contempt. Better to be held in low regard and have a servant than to be conceited and lack food. Right there again, knowledge is power. Like I know you guys heard that phrase before. Wisdom is power. You want to be wise, you want to have knowledge. So if you have insight, you'll be praised. And it doesn't mean like people are going to be literally worshiping you and like be at your feet and all that stuff. But people are going to come to you if they believe that you're smart. You have knowledge. So that's what it means by praise. So a person who has insight, people are gonna go to them and be like, hey, what do you think I should do in this situation or that situation? That's why, a lot of us, we go to Pastor Don and Pastor Billy, because we know that God has put them in our lives to be those people that have the insight, who have the wisdom and the knowledge to help us out in our situations. And sometimes their insight might not even be them. Like you might go to them and they say, go check it out in the book, you know, the Bible, or have you checked the Bible and stuff like that. So that right there is being insightful and like being wise, because they're not there to answer or help you with all your situations. Of course, they're there to help you with some, but sometimes you might have to do it yourself. And the insight they're giving you is to, you know, trust yourself. You know, you got to be able to be a self-advocate for yourself, which means doing things on your own, being able to go and help yourself out. So, a word of advice for me is, you know, always check the Bible first. You know, if you can't find it there, then go to those people that are insightful. Go to Pastor Don and Pastor Billy. Tell them, I've checked the Bible, I can't seem to find it, or I found this, but what do you guys recommend? And then they'll tell you what to do. You know, through God. God will tell them, and then they'll tell you. So yeah, better to be held in low regard and have a servant than be conceited and lack food. So that goes to show you again, don't be conceited. You know, and conceited, you know, is ignorance, you know, arrogance, selfishness, those kind of things can all be a part of a conceited mindset. It's like, I think I'm too good for everybody else. Like I'm too good for advice, for correction. I don't feel like I need to do this. So it's like the opposite. Like I said, like just because, you know, like let's say I keep saying, you know, I suck at math, I'm not good at math, I'm gonna suck at math. But also you gotta know the opposite too. If I'm like, man, I'm the best at math, man, I don't need your help or anything like that, that is too far in the other direction, conceited arrogance. If I'm talking about, oh, I'm really good at math, you know, I don't need nobody's help, but I'm really not good at math, I'm hurting myself because I'm not even open to letting somebody help me, you know? And I know life and death's in the power of your tongue, you gotta speak things into existence, but you also gotta know, use your wisdom and know what's too far. So if I'm like, I know deep down I'm not good at math, I'm out here like, oh, I'm the best at math, I don't need nobody's help, I'm hurting myself, because when it comes time for the test, I'm gonna fail because I wasn't able to listen to other people, and I'm lacking the food because I'm being conceited. The food is people's wisdom, the insightful people trying to help you out. So it's better to be held in low regard and have a servant. So, you know, like it's better to be, you gotta be humble, you gotta be realistic, you gotta, you know, use humility. So I'd be like, oh, you know, I'm not the best at math, that's better. So I'm not saying I suck at math, I'm not saying I'm the best at math. I'm just saying, you know, I have something to work on, you know, I can get better at math, I need help, I need to be able to improve. Right there, that's the middle ground, because I'm not saying I suck, and I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm willing to hear the people out and try to get the help I need, that way I can go ahead and pass this test. So you gotta be able to use that, you know, discernment, and you gotta be able to use that wisdom to help yourself. Because if you're being too arrogant in the wrong direction, being too conceited, thinking you're the best, you're hurting yourself. If you're going the other direction, thinking that you're not good at all, you're hurting yourself. So you gotta find that middle ground, and you gotta trust God to open your heart and open your mind. That way you can really look at yourself, you know, look in the mirror and be like, okay, I do need help with this situation. So verse 10, the righteous care about their livestock's needs, but even the compassion of the wicked is cruel. Those who work their land will have plenty to eat, but those who engage in empty pursuits have no sense. So that's verse 10 and 11. So let's go over verse 10 again. The righteous care about their livestock's needs, but even the compassion of the wicked is cruel. So there you go again. The righteous, they care about their livestock's needs. So that's like caring about other people, caring about other situations in your life. You're not just focused on yourself, you know. Like if I was just focused on myself, I'm not helping out Nia, you know. If I see Nia struggling, I'm like, oh, that's Nia's thing. I'm gonna keep focusing on myself. So that's kind of what it means by care about their livestock's needs. You care about the other people around you, the situation around you. Because if you're too busy focused on yourself, everything's falling apart. Like if I'm too focused on myself and like just being selfish, and you know, I'm not taking care of things around me, then I'm still hurting myself. So you gotta be able to focus on your livestock's needs, the people around you. But then it says, but even the compassion of the wicked is cruel. So even if you're wicked at heart, that's kind of what I was saying, God knows your heart. So even if you're wicked at heart, but you're still trying to be compassionate, be nice and all that, it's still, God sees your heart. He knows you're cruel, you know. It's kind of like when somebody's being fake almost, like or passive aggressive. Like I'm like, oh, you're wearing that outfit again? That's kind of what it's like. Like, it's nothing really mean about what I said, oh, you're wearing that outfit again. The question sounds innocent, but we know the intention. Like, I'm calling them out like, oh, I don't like that outfit, you're doing that again. The person will be like, oh, why are you questioning me like that? You know, so it's kind of like that. God can see what you're really saying, even if you're not really saying it. So if you feel like you're fooling God by acting compassionate, but deep down you know in your heart that you're being cruel, you're being wicked, then God still sees that. So you gotta be able to really change your heart and show your heart to God and let Him change your heart. And then for verse 11, those who work their land will have plenty to eat, but those who engage in empty pursuits have no sense. So there you go. That's kind of like what I was just saying. You know, you gotta look around you, look at your environment, focus on the things around you, don't just focus on yourself. So those who work their land, that means like those who work on the things around them. Like if I know I'm not good at math and I keep working on it, I'll have plenty to eat, I'll have plenty to gain, rather than just not focusing on it, thinking I'm too good or I'm not good at all. I gotta work the land. I gotta be able to be like, okay, how can I get better at this? Look at all my options, go to the insightful people, go to the people, who are wise, have the wisdom, just go to them, be open to the correction, and then I have plenty to eat, have plenty to gain, basically is what it's saying, rather than being closed-minded. And then, but those who engage in empty pursuits have no sense. So empty pursuits, what could that be? That could be, I know I'm not good at math, but I'm going out to party, I'm going out to hang out with my friends. Where's that gonna get me? Nowhere. Of course, I have fun for the moment, but at the end of the day, I'm no better at math. In my future, who knows where I'm gonna be? I might not be able to get into school because I'm not improving. I might be neglecting all the important things just because I wanted to go to that party or do other things. So I have no food, I have nothing to gain. So like it says, but those who engage in empty pursuits have no sense. That goes to show, like, no sense. If you're going to party when you have something you need to work on, you're neglecting that, you have no sense, no wisdom, no insightful, you're not open to hearing the correction. So you gotta be able to focus on the right things in your life. And that brings us to the last verse, which is verse 12. Desiring evil is a trap for the wicked, but the roots of the righteous endures. So that's pretty straightforward. Again, desiring evil is a trap for the wicked. So of course, there are people out here who are, I guess, desiring evil with all the intentions of mind, knowing that they're doing evil things. But desiring evil also means, like, you could be doing something that's considered evil or like not the best, not for God, and might not even know it. So you got to be able to be aware and know your situation. Like the past progressive thing, like I was just saying, like if I see somebody wearing an outfit, I'm like, oh, you're wearing that outfit again? That's not being nice. That's not being of God. I'm kind of putting them in a tough situation, because for all I know, maybe that's the only outfit they have. You got to be compassionate. You got to be open-minded and be able to help them. A better thing to do is just like hey, how you doing? And then you give them a chance to tell you their situation. They might tell you, hey, this is the only outfit I have. Right now I'm going through it, and then that opens the door for you to be like, oh, well, let me help you out. Maybe I can help you get some clothes, or stuff like that, rather than just putting the person on the spot like that. So, desiring evil is a trap for the wicked. So don't fall into the trap. Don't be judgmental. Don't let the thoughts win. You don't have to think a thought. Like Pastor Billy says, the counting thing. If you're counting to 10 and then you stop saying your name, you just change the thought. So that's all you really got to do, is be open-minded and be able to let God download into you the compassion, the open heart, the wisdom to help people out and help yourself out. And then, but the root of the righteous endures. So that's basically the same thing. So the root of the righteous endures. If you're being righteous, if you're being compassionate, if you're going around, trying to see how you can make the world better and how you can bring honor to God, of course, you're going to endure. You're going to have plenty of benefits, and you're going to be able to help out those around you and help yourself. So that's basically all this is saying, is at the end of the day, all these verses is to, have the open mind, have the open heart. Make sure that you are being pure in what you do, because God knows if you're trying to play around. You can be the nicest person in the world on the outside, but in your heart, you're not good, and God can see that. So if you want God to open doors for you, if you want to help yourself, of course, don't slander yourself, but also don't be arrogant. You got to find that middle ground. Be insightful. Go to the people that are in your life for the better and trying to help better your situation. So that's basically the summary of all these verses. That's basically the Bible study. You guys keep on tuning in. Make sure you guys keep using that wisdom. Make sure you guys tune in next week. You guys already know, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday. That way you can hear what we have next for you guys. And of course, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out to youth@hofmnc.org, and we'll be there to get back to you. And if you don't have a Bible teaching church such as this one, feel free to come to this one, or ask around. There's plenty of churches. If this church isn't for you, or if this isn't for you, there is one out there for you. So we're not going to tell people to come here if you don't feel like it's for you. You got to go find a situation for you. You got to open your heart, use that wisdom, be like, oh, I really like what he was saying. This feels like it's for me. Or, okay, I hear what he's saying. I'm going to go search around and find some other places. So at the end of the day, we just want to bring honor to God and bring honor to his kingdom. It's not about us. It's about helping you to find God. So that's the whole situation. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say. You guys have a good rest of your week, and goodbye.